Good afternoon, students. Today we are going to discuss supplementary. So we should know what is supplementary. What is supplementary? Which adds an additional to a poem and prose. Already you may know what is prose, what is poem. Supplementary. For example, if you go for a dinner, if you have the whatever delicious food, you take it. Finally we go for the ice cream. So that ice cream adds something to the food. So then only that dinner completes. Like that, supplementary also so given to us to complete something that is called supplementary. So now the first supplementary, what is the first supplementary? God sees the truth but waits. So we have the belief in the God. Many of us believe the God. Many of us don't believe the God also. But there is a superpower. We have to believe it. Everything happens according to the God. So we should believe that. So some of you may not have the opinion that God is there or may not be there, but we should believe the God. So here the God sees the truth but waits. The story was written by Leo Tolstoy. So he is a very famous Russian writer, Leo Tolstoy. So let me tell you about the author. So author was born on 9th September 1828. So where he was born on Yashinia village in Tula province, Russia, and he was belonging to the aristocratic family. Actually, he had 3 brothers, 1 sister. At the age of 3, he lost his mother. At the age of 9, he lost his father. So he was brought up by his auntie. So, and his wife was Sophia. So, age of 16, he started writing. So he was a voracious reader of the Rousseau books. So he started writing at the age of 16. His famous writings are Childhood, Boyhood, Youth, Anne Karenina, Sevastopol, The Death of Ivan Ilyich, Family Happiness. So War and Peace, all these are his famous writings. Particularly his masterpiece, War and Peace, is called a masterpiece. So what is a masterpiece? When we do some work, that could be an extraordinary work. Again, we cannot do that. That is called masterpiece. So if a cook cooks, now one non-vegetarian in particular delicious taste, again he cannot cook it. That is called a masterpiece. So that kind of masterpiece was War and Peace. Actually, it was taken 7 years to complete it. In the year of 1869, it was completed. Almost more than 500 characters. So in this War and Peace, so all his stories and novels all are based on the true events. So and also it includes all the stories and novels includes philosophy, love, happiness, sadness, and pain, cruelty, hard work, and all these peace, all these are included in all his stories. Particularly War and Peace are concerned with this area. Actually, he was addicted to gambling and the alcohol. On 20th 1910 in Ostapova, Russia, he died in this year. So that's about the author. Now let us go to the story. Okay, so God sees the truth but waits. So we have to wait for the judgment. We cannot expect very immediately judgment will be given by the God. We have to wait. So here in the story mainly talks about the 3 characters. What are the 3 characters? It's Ivan Dmitrich Aksionov and his wife and Makar Semyonich. These characters, 3 characters involved in the story. Let us go into the story. So the main character of the story is Ivan Dmitrich Aksionov. So the poet introduces the character first. So where he is in Vladimir. Aksionov. Aksionov was a young merchant. Actually, he had 2 shops and a house of his own. So he was actually fair and handsome guy. Okay, but no one's favorite because he had the habit of drinking alcohol whenever he took too much, he often made some chaos, some confusion around him. So the people hated him in the beginning years. After getting the marriage, he gave up everything and became very responsible. So what happened when it was going on, in the summer season, he wanted to go to Nizhny Fair. Nizhny is a town, there is a fair. Fair, it means like a market. So he wanted to go to that market. So he started, before starting, he said goodbye to his wife and children. So, but his wife said forbid, no, don't go today. So immediately he laughed and asked the question, why you do like this? So he said, no, nothing will happen, I will leave. So, but his wife forbid because she had a bad dream. So bad dream, what's the bad dream? He laughed. No, I know you think that I'm going to drink and make some mess. That's why you are thinking. No, I don't know the reason why I have the fear. But actually, when you returned from the fair, when you remove your cap, I could see very gray. So I just fear of it. So please don't go. So, and again, Akshino laughed. Again he laughed. That was a sign of lucky, my dear. He said and started his journey. So when he went almost half a way, so he met another one merchant already whom he knew. So he met him and both stayed in an inn. So what is inn? It's a public house. The travelers could stay over there. So they stayed there. They had a cup of tea. So after the cup of tea, they went to their bed. Actually, that was the adjoining room. What is adjoining room? There was the room which connected by a common wall. Maybe you can go in and out to this room. That is called adjoining room. So both went to the bed. So in the early morning, next day, very early morning, so he started. Actually, Akshino had no habit of sleeping late. He just woke up very early and asked his driver to make his cart to ready to travel. So and his driver also made very ready to leave the place, and he went to the landlord and settled the bill and then started his journey. After going 25 miles, again they stopped at an inn. So in that inn, again he asked the driver to feed the horses. So after feeding, and also he asked the samovar to eat it up. Samovar is in the Russian language, which is a kettle which is used to carry the tea or hot waters. So he asked to eat the samovar, and that was also eaten. And after eating, at the passage, he took a guitar and started playing. While he was playing, suddenly there a three-wheeled horse garage came over there. An official got down from that. He was followed by two soldiers, and immediately he came to the Akshino and started questioning. So, where are you? Who are you? Where are you from? So, very cool. He answered very calmly that he was Akshino. He was from Vladimir. So again he started asking many questions, but Akshino asked the officer, would you like to have a cup of tea? But he was kept on asking questions. So he was kept on asking many questions. Why did you leave the inn very early? Whom did you stay last night? Why did you leave that spot very early? So immediately Akshino asked, why you are asking many questions to me? I am going on my business. Why do you ask these questions? He asked like this. So immediately he got no. Immediately the officer said, I am the police officer of the district. So last night, whom you stayed with that merchant, the merchant was murdered. So murdered by throat is cut. So we suspect you. So that we came here. We want to search all your belongings. So they searched the belongings. When they searched his belongings, suddenly they found a knife. with blood stained. So when he looked at that, he got shocked. Immediately, actually, no, blood stained, what? So immediately officer asked, how is it blood stained this? He started stammering, stuttering. He could not say a single word and said, it's not mine, it's not mine, my knife, it's not mine. So how it could be? Then immediately he called the soldiers to bind him. The soldiers came and tied his feet and threw him in the court. And he was taken to nearby town. So when this message passed to his wife, so and he was charged for the killing of the merchant who was from Raision. So actually he was killed and he was 20,000 rubles were stolen from the merchant. So he was charged for that in that court. So after hearing this, his wife and his children came to jail to visit her husband. He was questioned in the Vladimir. So all the people gave good name. Actually, he used to have a drink and he spent his time waste. But now he is a good man. After the marriage, everybody gave certificate to him. So after hearing this, his wife became so depressed, and she could not believe that. So did my husband do this? She could not believe that. So she started to visit her husband. So when she came to the jail, so she was not permitted. So after much begging, she was given permission to visit her husband. So her husband was actually in prison dress and he was in chain and he was among the criminals, among the thieves. After looking at this, she became unconscious. After the long time, she became conscious. When she became conscious, she talked about home and she discussed many things with him. So finally, she too suspected, did you do that? If you had not done, who would have done it? She asked. So when she asked this question, he started crying, closing his face. After closing his face, he started crying. At that time, a soldier came and asked the lady to go away, taking her children. So she was taken away from. At the moment, he said, who knows the truth? Only God knows the truth. Who could believe it? Only God knows. Then I believe the God. He started praying that from that moment. Almost he started praying that God. So she asked did you do that, like that? And also both of them told to ask the Tsar. Tsar is a noble person in the Russia. We will give petition. We will give complaint to him. So if he accepts, then we will go ahead. She said, no, I have given already, but that was denied. There is no use of giving here after giving any petition to the Tsar. So we don't need to give it. So while passing her hands through his hair, so she started asking, did you do that? No, he said, started crying, hiding his face. At that time, a soldier came there and took her away. Our children, no, you can move immediately. At that there, he started crying and he told, so God only knows the truth. God only knows the truth. So he was beaten with a stick and he was sent to mine to work. After that, he was given this whip with a knot. So the knot, and he was sent to the Siberia, where all the convicts over there. So he was sent to Siberia. So where he spent almost 26 years. He passed away 26 years. Now he has become very old. His hairs completely became grey. So he could not walk steadily. So he had a long beard, and he just lost his cheer. He could not speak with anybody. So even he lost his smile and everything. So he lost his hope also. He lost his hope. So finally, he decided, okay, so the thing, who did that murder? So he did not know. So the years went on. Many years went on. It means 26 years passed. He lost his cheer, and he started making boots, and he earned much in the jail. Through that, he bought a books, Lives of Saints. He started reading the Lives of Saints, and he also sang song in the choir in the prison church. Okay. So he became so silent. He became so silent, and he was respected by many other prisoners and also jail authorities. Jail authorities gave him respect for his humbleness. He became so humble. So suddenly one day there was a new group came over there. Okay. In that group there was a tall man, almost his age was 60. He had a short trimmed beard, his hair grey. So all the old prisoners called all the new convicts and started questioning them one by one. There the Akshino also sat with them. So they were asking many questions. Where are you from? So why you had come? So one that passed 60, the man told, actually I was charged as I took the horse from the transport carriage of an official. I took it and I went home quickly, and after that I let it go. So the officer told, you have stolen the horse. But actually I did wrong already, but I was not found. I would have been here years ago, but this is not a crime, but I was convicted as a criminal. So this is not a crime. So after listening this, Akshino and others asked many questions. So where are you from? Asked. So he said that I am from Vladimir. So immediately asked Akshino, do you know Akshino? Yes, I know. Akshinos are very rich people. So, and I heard about the Akshino story also. So Akshino is in Siberia, I heard that he is also in this jail. So I heard about it. His sons are there. His children are there. I heard about it. That man told all this detail. So after listening this, little bit he asked. So then the old man, 60 years old man, asked the Akshino. So generally all the people said them as a grandfather. So grandfather, tell me, where did you come from? So he did not say a single word. He did not reply a single word. He just laughed and went away. So but other people told him why he had come to the jail. So while he was listening, he started tapping his knees. Wow, he said wow and wonderful, all those things. When Akshino saw this, he got surprised, he got shocked, why he slaps and everything. And immediately he went and asked him, so you know about the murder which happened to the merchant? Yes, I know. He said that. Immediately it must have you, because the knife was within you. If you add someone that, how could you keep the knife in your bag which was under your head? So after listening this, Akshino came to know, he just suspected he was the murderer. Immediately he became so unhappy and he recollected his memories. So when he departed in his knee fair, how his wife bade him, how his children gave. So all those memories came in his mind, and he wanted to take revenge. He had a vengeance in his mind. So finally he wanted to take revenge for him. So this was going on. Almost 14 nights passed away. One day he was going along the prison. Suddenly he noticed, so the Makar Semyonovich crept out from there. That suddenly he saw, and what you are doing? Actually he was digging a tunnel to escape from the jail. So actually that was carried in his boot and thrown on the roads. When the prisoners were gone, prisoners had gone, at that time he just threw on the roads. So he just seized his hands and begged him, don't say to anybody, so you can also escape. Immediately Aksinov said, I don't want to escape, so I am not ready to go out. I'm not in that mood. I'm not willing to come outside. And immediately Makar Semyonovich said, if you say to anybody, I will kill you. So at the time he said, already you killed me, so there is no need to kill me. So he just moved. The next day when the prisoners started working, suddenly the authorities found that unloading of the earth in the earth. Suddenly they suspected something wrong happening. They searched the prison. When they searched the prison, the tunnel was found, and it was questioned. All the prisoners were questioned, who made this. Finally the governor came there and asked each and every one, and finally governor questioned the Aksinov. So Aksinov did not say a single word. At the time he was thinking, you are the person made me to spend 26 years in jail, and I want to take you revenge. In case if it is wrong, if I judge you wrong, what will happen? So he just thought like this also. So the governor questioned him, you have to say the truth. So otherwise, you know the truth, tell me immediately. So but he denied, no, God only knows, I cannot say anything. So whatever you want to do, you do it. I am ready, but I won't say the truth. Aksinov said like this. Then he moved. So then matter was left. Okay, they started, and at the night he was lying in the bed. A man came near the Aksinov and knelt before and asked, Aksinov, forgive me. That was dark night, and Aksinov stood up from the bed and asked, why I want to forgive you? No, yes, I was the murderer. I was the murderer who murdered the merchant who stayed with you at that night. So I put the knife in your bag. I tried to kill you also, but suddenly I heard some sound from outside, so I did not kill you. So I just kept the knife in your bag and came out through the window. So please forgive me. And now I feel guilty as I did something wrong to you. So please accept my forgiveness. So God immediately said, God will forgive you. You never bother about it. God will forgive you. So I am going to confess my crime, what I committed. So I'm going to say to the authorities, you don't need to do that. I'm not interested. I don't know whether my wife is alive or my children are alive. Whether my children remember me or not, I don't know. And also I don't want to go out. I just want conclude my life in the prison. So you don't need to do, you just carry on, he said. After that, I finally confessed and went to authorities, and he told everything that what had happened. So finally he concluded. Finally the order came from the authorities. The authorities, when they gave order, before arrival of the order, the Aksinov had already died. So that's it. That is the outline of the story. I cannot say it's a complete story, it's outline of the story. So we will discuss in detail. It's outline of the story, it's not a complete story. Okay, don't think I just gave you an outline. So in detail, let us see the story. In the town of Vladimir lived a young merchant named Ivan Dmitrich Aksinov. He had 2 shops and a house of his own. Actually, he lived in Vladimir. Vladimir is a place in Russia. Actually, he was a very young man. Okay, named Ivan Dmitrich Aksinov. Actually, he owned 2 shops and a house. Aksinov was a handsome, fair-haired, curly-headed fellow, full of fun and very fond of singing. Actually, he was a handsome guy and fair-haired, so a little bit had a grey hairs, and he was not liked by many people, but he was fond of singing songs. When a quite young man, he had been given to drink and was riotous when he had too much, but after he married, he gave up drinking except now and then. So when he was young, he used to have drinks. When he was taken too much, he would make many chaos around him. But after getting marriage, he just gave up all those things. So, but he would do now and then. It means on and off. Occasionally he would do that. One summer, Aksinov was going to the Nizhny fair, and as he bade goodbye to his family, his wife said to him, Ivan Dmitrich, do not start today. I have had a bad dream about you. So one summer, actually Aksinov was going to a fair. Fair means market. So where he was going, Nizhny fair. It was a famous market in the month of July. So he started traveling to that. He said goodbye to his wife. So when he said goodbye to his wife immediately stopped him. No, don't start today. I had a bad dream. So don't move. Don't go now. So she said, Aksinov laughed and said, you are afraid that when I get to the fair, I shall go on a spree. So he laughed and told, when I go there, you may think I would drink and I would enjoy. I would make some chaos. You think like this. But his wife replied, I don't know what I am afraid of. All I know is that I had a bad dream. So I dreamt you returned from the town, and when you took off your cap, I saw that your hair was quite grey. His wife replied, I don't know why I get scared of it, why I fear it. I don't know the reason. But when you come back from the fair, when you remove your cap, your all hair has grey hair. Aksinov laughed. That's a lucky sign, said he. See if I don't sell out all my goods and bring you some presents from the fair. So he laughed. He laughed and said to his wife, that was a sign of lucky. So I will get you present from the fair if I send all the goods. So he said goodbye to his family and drove away. When he had travelled halfway, he met a merchant whom he knew, and they put up the same inn for the night. They had some tea together and then went to bed in adjoining rooms. So he said goodbye to his family and started journey. When he reached off of the way, he met a merchant. He knew already him. So both had shared an inn and both had a cup of tea. So after taking the cup of tea, they stayed in the adjoining bedroom. Okay. It was not Aksinov's habit to sleep late, and wishing to travel while it was still cool, he aroused his driver before dawn and told him to put in the horses. Aksinov actually had the habit of waking up in the early. He just started his journey he wanted to start his journey very early and asked his driver to make arrangement of the cart. Okay, so before the dawn. Then he made his way across to the landlord of inn, paid his bill and continued his journey. So actually he made a way across. When he traveled, he just met the owner of the inn and paid the bills and started his journey. When he had gone about 25 miles, he stopped for the horses to be fed. Akshino rested a while in the passage of the inn. Then he stepped out into the porch and, ordering a samovar to be heated, got out his guitar and began to play. So when he had almost about 25 miles, after reaching 25 miles, he just actually asked the driver to stop because the asses to be fed, and also he asked to heat up the samovar, and after saying this, he just went to the passage of inn and started playing the guitar. Suddenly a troika is a three-wheel horse garage. Troika drove up with tinkling bells. An official alighted, following by two soldiers. He came to Akshino and began to question him, asking him who he was and whence he came. So their three-wheeled horse carriage came. An official got down from that, and asked many questions to the Akshino. So he was followed by two soldiers, where he was, okay, who he was, all these questions, okay, asked. Akshino answered him fully and said, won't you have some tea with me? But official went on cross questioning him and asking him, where did you spend last night? So he asked, won't you have some tea with me? So he asked, won't you have some tea with me? Let us have some tea. But the officer kept on asking many questions, cross questions. So my questions like, where did you stay last night? Whom did you stay last night? So why did you start early? He kept on asking all these questions. Okay, why did you leave before the dawn? So all these questions he asked. Akshino wondered why he was asked all these questions, but he described all that had happened and then added, why do you cross question me? If I were a thief or a robber, I am traveling on my business of my own and there is no need to question me. So Akshino wondered why you are asking many questions, cross question. I am on traveling on my business. You cannot ask me many questions. So were I a robber or were I a thief? He questioned to that man. Then the official, calling the soldiers, said, I am the police officer of this district and I question you because the merchant with whom you spent last night has been found with his throat cut. We must search your things. Immediately the official said, I am the police officer of this district. I am here. Why I am here? Because the last night whom did you stay with? The merchant. The merchant was murdered by cutting his throat. So we suspect you. So we want to check your things. We want to search your things. They entered the house. The soldiers and the police officer unstrapped Akshino's luggage and searched it. Suddenly the officer drew a knife out of a bag, crying, whose knife this? Whose knife is this? So they entered the house and the soldiers suddenly opened all his things and bags and everything. They searched it. Suddenly they found a knife in his bag with blood stain. Okay. Akshino looked and seeing a blood-stained knife taken from his bag, he was frightened. When he saw the knife, he got a frightened. He got a fear. How is it there is blood on this knife? So the officer asked this question. Akshino tried to answer, but could hardly utter a word and only stammered. He could not say a single word. He stammered. He started stuttering, shivering. he could not answer, because after looking at the knife in his bag with blood stained, he could not answer. I don't know, not mine. Then the police officer said, this morning the merchant was found in bed with his throat cut. So you are the only person who could have done it. The house was locked from inside and no one else was there. Here is this bloodstained knife in your bag, and your face and manner betray you. Tell me how you killed him and how much money you stole. So immediately the Akshino said, I don't know, I nothing. That officer told, this morning he was found in his bed, throat cut, and tell me how much money you stole. Why did you kill that merchant? We come to know, bloodstained knife in your bag. So your face betray. He became so pale. So he just became pale. So you are the person killed the merchant. Akshino swore he had not done it, that he had not seen the merchant after they had tea together. Akshino promised, I had not seen him after taking the tea, really, believe me. So he said, he had no money except 8,000 rubles of his own, and that knife was not his. I have only 8,000 rubles, and also the knife is not mine. So Akshino explained to the officer. But his voice broken, his face pale, and he trembled with fear as though he went guilty. But his voice broken. He cannot speak fluently, so his voice broken, became silent because of the fear, and he became so pale. So it shows that he is the guilt. The police officer ordered the soldiers to bind Akshino and put him in the cart. The officer ordered to put him in the cart. Okay. As they tied his feet together, and flung him into the cart. Akshino crossed himself and wept. So the soldiers tied, they tied and threw in the cart. So his money and goods were taken from him, and he was sent to nearest town and imprisoned there. So his money and goods were taken, he was taken to nearest town, and imprisoned. So he was put in jail. Enquiries as to his character were made in Vladimir. Enquiry was done in Vladimir about him. So the merchant and other inhabitants of that town said that in former days he used to drink and waste his time, but that he was a good man. Then the trial came on. He was charged with murdering a merchant from Ryazan and robbing him 20,000 rubles. So when asked merchants and other inhabitants, they said he used to drink, but now he is good. And the trial also came. It means in the court the argument was done. The argument was done. When the argument was done, he was charged or killing that merchant. He was charged killing the merchant, and he was imprisoned, and he stole 20,000 rubles. He stole 20,000 rubles from the merchant. His wife was in despair and did not know what to believe. Her children were all quite small. One was a baby at her breast. Taking them all with her, she went to the town where her husband was in jail. His wife became depressed. She became so depressed, she doesn't know what to believe. What can I believe? This or that. She stumbled. Her children were quite small. One child and one infant which was at breast. So taking all with her, she went to see him. At first, she was not allowed to see him, but after much begging, she obtained permission from the officials and was taken to him. So at first, she was not allowed to see. Then after begging many times, officials permitted her to visit his husband. Okay. So when she saw her husband in prison, dressed and in chains, shut up with the thieves and criminals, she fell down and did not come to her senses for a long time. When she saw her husband in prison, dressed and in chain among the thieves and the criminals, she became unconscious. He did not come senses for a long time, a very long time. So she told, then she drew her children to her and sat down near him. She told him of the things at home and asked about what had happened to him. He told her all, and she asked, what can we do now? So what was happening in the home and everything, she explained to Akshino, what shall we do? Now she asked the Akshino. So Akshino said, we must petition to Tsar not to let an innocent man perish. Okay, Tsar is a noble person in the Russian country. We will give petition to not to punish the innocent, not to cause to death to an innocent. So let us give petition. His wife told him that she had sent a petition to the Tsar, but it had not been accepted. So I have already made petition, but it was not accepted. It was denied. His wife told him. Akshino did not reply, but only looked downcast. Akshino did not reply a word, but he was in despair. He was depressed, so much depressed. Then his wife said, it was not for nothing. I dreamt your hair had turned grey, you remember. You should not have started the day. So now his wife asked him, do you remember that dream? I just warned you. You would not have started. Now look at that. So she recollected the day, and passing her fingers through his hairs, said, Vanya, dearest, tell your wife the truth. Was it not you who did it? And passing her fingers through his hair and said, Vanya. Vanya is a Russian language for using the husbands. Okay. So dearest, tell me, if you had not done, who would have done it? Tell me the truth, she asked. So you to suspect me, said Akshino, and hiding his face in his hands, he began to weep. Then a soldier came to say that the wife and children must go away, and Akshino said goodbye to his family for the last time. So you to suspect me, Akshino hiding his face and started crying. And at the time immediately a soldier came and asked her to move away with her children. So and he bade a goodbye. That was the last goodbye to his family. After that he did not meet his family. So when they were gone, Akshino recalled what had been said, and when he remembered that his wife also had suspected him, he said to himself, it seems that only God can know the truth. It is to him alone we must appeal, and from him alone expect mercy. So Akshino recollected what had happened. Only God only knows. God only knows the truth. God has to show sympathy on me. God has to show some mercy unto me. He just talked himself. And Akshino wrote no more petitions, gave up all hopes, and only prayed to God. He lost his hope and he started praying to the God. Only he believed in God. He just believed in God. Okay. Akshino was condemned to be flogged and sent to mines. So he was flogged with knot. And when the wounds made by the knot were healed, he was driven to Siberia with other convicts. Akshino was condemned. Akshino was given scandal and given whip using the stick. After giving whip, he was sent to the mines to drag. And after that, he was sent to the Siberian Siberia in jail, where the convicts, many convicts are there. So he was sent to Siberia. So after that, for 26 years, Aksionov lived as a convict in Siberia. His hair turned white as snow, and his beard grew longer, thin and grey. All his mirth went. He stooped, he walked slowly, he spoke little and never laughed, but he often prayed. Almost he passed 26 years in Siberian jail. So he became very old. His hair became, all the hair became grey. So he had a long beard. He lost his happiness. He did not laugh looking at anybody. He talked very less. So this was happened in the Siberian jail. He very often spoke, but he kept on praying. In prison, Aksionov learned to make boots and earned a little money with which he bought the lives of saints. He read this book when there was light enough in prison. And on Sundays in the prison church, he read the lessons and sang in choir. For his voice was still good. Aksionov learned making boots and earned money. Through that money, he just bought a books, Lives of the Saints. He started reading that books, and on Sundays in prison church, he used to sing songs. Prison authorities liked Aksionov for his meekness, and his fellow prisoners respected him. Actually, he was very humble, so all the authorities, all the officials liked him, and all other prisoners also liked him. And they called him grandfather and the saint. When they wanted to petition the prison authorities about anything, they always made Aksionov their spokesman. And when there were quarrels among the prisoners, they came to him, put things right, and to judge the matter. So if any quarrel among the prisoners, they come to Aksionov and they get judgment at them. So all they called him grandfather. No news reached Aksionov from his home, and he did not even know if his wife and children were still alive. So he never heard any news from the home. So he suspected whether his wife alive or his children were still alive. Let us conclude this session here. Let us see the story. Let us continue the story in next session. Thank you so much.